Hi there traders and welcome to this month's edition of the Keyzone Traders Trade of the Month. And this month we're going to take a look at a trade that we took earlier on in the month. It was about, I think it was Monday the 20th of March. And we're going to look at why we should look for the path of least resistance when we're looking to enter our trades. Okay, so when we're trading, we should always follow the path of least resistance. What I mean by that is we generally are looking for obstacles in the way that may present dangers to our trade hitting its target. So you always want to make sure that we mitigate this by having as fewer obstacles in the way as possible. So we had this trade earlier on in the month. It's about midway through the month. I think it was Monday the 20th of March. Yep, so Monday the 20th of March, and it was on a euro dollar on the hourly chart. Now, we did have this really strong impulsive move down, and we'd had this sort of corrective move back. So there was always a danger that we could see some further downside. However, we had this signal. This was a valid reversal signal for us, and you can see that the place it had found support here was the same place that it had touch resistance here. So we had that that sort of context going for it. We had the resistance turned support. We had the valid signal, the reversal signal. When we scrolled out to the daily time frame, we could actually, if we scroll out to the daily time frame, 1 second. Okay, so this is a daily time frame. You can see we are actually still bullish overall on the US dollar, just at the euro US dollar. We've had this really strong push up here. Just because we saw this sort of little bit of weakness doesn't reject all of this upside momentum here. So we had seen some positive situations on the daily chart in a higher time frame context as well. So if we switch back now to our execution time frame. So once we see that, we're just looking at things that could potentially be resistance for the trade, potentially present obstacles in the way. Now, this darker, bolder line here, this is the daily 20 moving average. I always have the higher time frame context moving average plotted on my charts because I want to be taking trades with trend, which means I want to be buying above that moving average and I want to be selling below that moving average. You can see that actually we'd had the acceptance back above that moving average. We'd pulled back and we were holding it there as support. So that was one thing. That was one less obstacle in the way. And also notice how the entry. So if we're gonna we place our entry just above the candle. We had our stop just below, and we're just going to go for a 1-to-1 target on this. Now, also notice that our entry is just above the moving averages on our execution time frame as well. So with that, we've got very little in the way. We've got the signal, it's with the overall context of the market, and we've got very little in the way. Now there is a couple of things that potentially could provide obstacles, and that's this area of resistance here, which was support. So we had it had been support over here, and it had turned resistance here. So that was one area of potential. One obstacle that we had to overcome. We also had the Bollinger Bands as well, the Bollinger Band there. So once we got outside the Bollinger Bands, we're going to start looking a little bit extended. So what we can do then is we can never find a trade that is going to have absolutely no obstacles in the way, but we're always looking to minimize it. So once you're aware of the dangers as well, you know the areas that you can look to look for the trade to manage the trade. So actually, sorry, let me just put those bits back on. I'll show you there. And now we move forward. And you can see we got triggered into the trade and we quickly moved up. Now at this point, I'm going to be moving my stop to entry. The reason being is that we have broken that high there and we have broken the Bollinger Bands as well. So if we started reversing, we're going to get a reversal, potential reversal. We could actually head lower. So at this point, I want to move my stop to entry to mitigate the risk. Because I know that it's reached those potential obstacles in the way of my target, but as you can see, it quickly goes and hits the target within a couple of hours. So it's just being aware of the obstacles in the way of your trade and being aware, trying to find the path of least resistance, so trying to find trades with as fewer obstacles as possible. And when you know what those obstacles are, if they reach those obstacles, then we also know where we need to manage the trade. So I hope you found this useful. So we're going to go for trade of the month now rather than the trade of the weeks as we had done, just to give a wider variety of trades and hopefully improve the learning and the education that we can actually get from these trades. I hope you found this useful. Please let me know how you're getting on in your trading. Let me know how you found this review, and I will speak to you soon. Cheers.